Law enforcement officials are now warning the American people that we are potentially in danger. And it's not every single person in the United States. Only about 108.5 million people are in danger of what is coming. Now, the two biggest states that are going to feel the impact are California and New York. That is going to be the biggest crisis that we are going to face, is in those two states. But why are law enforcement officials coming out and warning the American people? Well, that's what I'm going to break down in today's video. Explain why this is turning into a massive crisis and why more states are now on the lookout for what is potentially coming. So, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So before we jump into which states are lawmakers or law enforcement officials warning us on, I want to just first say this. There are many states that are going to feel this exact same impact, but there's going to be a slight twist. I'll explain that in just a moment, but let me show you the map. This right here is a map of states based off of their laws on immigration enforcement. The states in green, there's Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Illinois, you have Vermont, you got Connecticut, you got New Jersey, and also Maryland. However, New York right here, which is a slight shade of green, this is also there as well. Now, these are pro-immigrant law states. Now, what experts are telling us is these are the states that we should be concerned with, because these are the states that are going to pretty much let migrants run rampant. And I'll explain why in just a second. But you need to understand that even though these are the states to be concerned with, and these are the states that law enforcement officials are saying that this is where the danger zone is, just understand every other state is in that danger zone as well. Every state in the continental United States is in danger. Now, it all has to do with immigration. And it's not just illegal immigrants either. Asylum seekers who are technically migrants, okay? They're not illegals. They're here on asylum, asking for asylum. The concern, though, is it could take years before somebody that is asking for asylum is granted asylum. However, they can remain here in the United States. This is why there's currently a lot of debate and negotiations regarding the upcoming border security bill. But right now, the border security and Ukraine aid, this is collapsing, even though President Biden is pleading Congress to show some spine. President Biden has been asking Congress to pass a bill, give him power, so that he can then go and shut down the U.S. border. But Congress isn't doing that because of some of the provisions that are inside this bill. For instance, Texas would be stripped of its powers if this border security bill were to be passed. That's why many Republicans say that this is not a bill they are willing to support. But in the meantime, while we negotiate this bill, and the new report that just came out yesterday is stating that this border security bill, this does not have a chance of passing until after November. And that is only if the whole election breaks down the way many people are expecting. And that is, Republicans now have a president in the Oval Office, and maybe it's former President Donald Trump. We don't know yet, but that's the most likely outcome. They also have the power in the Senate and the power in the House. If those three things happen, then we could see a border security bill. However, it would not favor Democrats. It would be all Republican based. Now, why? Why are we discussing this? Well, here's the problem. Right now, the issue, and this is what many law enforcement officers are saying, is that migrants that have little money and are faced with very few options, they are now going to be pretty much forced and brought into criminal organizations. Criminal organizations are now going to target migrants to try to bring them in to their organization. Just look at this, okay? I want to show you this video really quick. You've probably seen it, but this is just the start of what we are about to see. Just look at this. Now, obviously, there's no sound, but there's 5 or 6 migrants that are pretty much kicking police officers in New York City, down in Times Square. Okay? One of the busiest places in the United States. They are just kicking police officers as citizens are just walking past. Okay? That's a cause for concern. But I want to play you a couple clips. And this is talking about robberies in New York City. And the only reason why I'm showing you New York City, and it's only New York City in these clips, is because that is the city that is getting the most action. There's some action in Washington State. There's some stuff that's going on in California, right? We're seeing thefts. We're seeing assaults, right? All these things are happening. But I want to play you this clip as well. Again, it's going to be about a 10-second clip, but listen to this right here. And I want to know your thoughts. You can always put your thoughts down in the comment section below. But listen to this.
These thieves would ride up behind their victims on the sidewalk, steal their property, and then make their getaway. The majority of the victims are women, simply just walking alone.
So I don't want to show you the clip. It's very similar to the last one. Somewhat violent. Well, I guess I can show it to you. But this is what's happening. Let me play it for you. Okay. So you can see right here, a woman's just being dragged because she's trying to hold on to her cell phone. People come up behind you. And again, these are migrants coming up behind you, trying to steal your phone or your personal property. Okay? Now, what I can tell you, though, is that if you are one of the ones that are a phone snatcher, that according to law enforcement, you're getting paid between $300 to $600 per phone that you deliver. Okay? I want to play you another clip here. Again, I think a lot of this stuff is troubling, but we need to understand what's going to happen to other cities and other states. This is exactly what the FBI and other law enforcement officials are saying, is that these states here, okay, the ones in green, these are the ones that are going to be hit the hardest because they do have pro-immigrant laws. These are laws that protect the immigrants. Okay, so keep that in mind. We are going to see more of this in the near future. Listen to this, though.
There are a total of 62 incidents that we've connected to this pattern so far, touching every borough in New York City except Staten Island.
So right there, it's almost every single borough in New York City is being hit by this. Guess what? These are people that are running up behind you on scooters that they rent or steal, okay, on motorcycles. What other states do we know? What other cities, for example, do we know that use some of these bird scooters, right? Some of these rent by the hour scooters. New York City's one, Chicago's another, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle, okay, Denver, just to name a few. Okay, just to name a few. Think about that for a second. I want to play you another clip though, because this is the concern. This is why the FBI is highly concerned with immigrants coming into the United States. Listen to this.
They're essentially ghost criminals. No criminal history, no photos, no cell phone, no social media.
They got nothing. So when we show these pictures, okay, we show pictures of these people, okay, though the problem is, where'd they come from? What are their names? Normally, if you put out a bulletin and say, this is the person we're looking for in New York City, you're going to get a handful of people, whether it's on Facebook or some other social media site, that know exactly who that person is, where they live, where they went to school, what sports they play or what sports their kids are into, what city they used to live in, where they work, right? Friends of friends of friends. They all know this stuff. But this is why the New York City police chief is concerned, because there's no photos, no social media, no work history. Okay? There's nothing. We have no clue who these people are. And that's why there's 108 million people in the United States that are currently in danger, because we have no clue who these people are, where they came from, where they're going, how they make money. That's the concern. So I just wanted to warn you guys on this, because again, even though there's some good things that do happen because of legal immigration. The problem is right now, the United States does not have the resources. And if we do not have the resources and people come into the United States with some false sense of hope and security, well, guess what? Everybody's going to be very disappointed because the United States isn't giving away free jobs, isn't giving away free food, isn't giving away, free shelter and homes and TVs, right? Credit cards, free cars. We're not giving that away to every single person out there, especially every single illegal immigrant, because we cannot do it. We don't have it, we cannot afford it, and we never will. So that's the reality of the situation that we're currently in. But again, I bring it up because until there's something done with the U.S. southern border crisis, this is going to turn into a massive problem all across the United States. So I will leave you with that. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Are you seeing more crime in your area? Or have you been hearing about more crime potentially coming up? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.